to Nature's Galaxy. I'm your host and talkative friend Luna. Thank you so much for stopping by and trusting me with your cards. The message for you guys is that it's right in front of you. I was looking for my Taramuka and I was just like, oh my god, where did it go? It was literally right in front of me. I was like, oh, okay, well. So it's right in front of you. So this can mean a plethora of different things, but to each their own with that one, whether it be long-term and or temporary. You could be involved with the Taurus to some extent coming up, or so on and so forth. Lilith energy is what I just heard. Anyway, either way. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Stellium, 12th house placement people. What's up? We on this ride again. We woke up for another simulation ride. Yay. We have Leo and we have the North Node. Some of you could have your North Node in Leo. I'm going to put it back in the deck because I didn't ask anything. All right. So we have, the Star Code Astro Oracle is what I'm shuffling right now. Okay, so cards. What are the planetary influences that are shadowing over, guiding over Pisces at this time? Excuse me. Okay, I'm gonna go with the first three that I see. The rest of you suckers. There's something about your career, something involving a Libra, Cancer, 7th house. I think there's a descendant in here. No, that's the ascendant. Okay. So I'm gonna go with the three that I saw, but either way, that was just part of the pile. We have Pluto. We have Vestra. Okay, the descendant was here. It was just on the other hand. And then we also have Jupiter. So Pluto and Jupiter, pretty heavy in your chart right now, coming up, lording over you, protecting you. So if you're a Pisces rising, Pluto is chilling there. Like, how much have you learned in terms of your shadow work? How much do you want to explore deeper in the mind, be monkish, but also still live in a capitalistic consumerism world? And or, you know, how do you want to evolve moving forward? Because now it's kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't. We also have the Hearth, so something about pregnancy, something about wanting to protect the Hearth deep down in the DNA. We have 3223 here. I don't know if it's like, either way. And then 27. We have Sagittarius at the bottom of the deck. And we have tension, so you could have some tensions right now with some Sagittarian placements. If it comes up, we'll talk about it. Some of you have your Pluto in Sagittarius. Some of you have your Jupiter in Sagittarius. Some of you have your Vestra in Sagittarius. Okay, well then that makes sense. That makes sense. Because the reason why it'd be coming up then is because Uranus is going to be opposing the Sagittarius placements of yours coming up for the next few years. So if you have children, you have relatives and different things like that. So they are about to go through their character development. All right. Or at least, again, these placements that you have here. So jumping into the Taramuka, my tried and true. Can you tell us a little bit about Pisces and this Pluto rebirth energy with 27? There's a sacrifice here when it comes down to Pluto. It could potentially be an old life. It could be a habit. It could be pain transmuted into pleasure and different things of that sort. Symbolism can be really important for you at this time. We have the King of Pentacles here. So you could be in this King of Pentacles state of mind where you do want to keep moving forward, but the sacrifice is also a gain, it looks like. So to each their own with that one. I can't necessarily tell in my own flesh and blood if this is necessarily good or not good. You know, I'm not the divider of time, so on and so forth. But in terms of the King of Pentacles and this Pluto energy, you could be having some confrontations when it comes down to brothers, uncles, the patriarchs to some degree. There's a healing here when it comes down to this. There's something about Muslim, Middle Eastern, because normally I see this as like a white dude, but actually this time I see him as Middle Eastern. So some of you could have that in your bloodline. Some of you, you know, that's your descent or the descendants, so on and so forth. So there's something about your heritage that comes under the Pluto line in terms of rebirth. So slow and steady grassroots all the way, relearning, getting all the books together, healing the books. I don't know why I have to say it like that, but you know, healing the books, getting it back together, so on and so forth. But yeah, it's definitely grassroots. If you are in the public eye to any fashion, or you are hiring different people for design, it's so important right now. I see why symbolism is important, but it's also coming up with Pluto. Like the smallest things in terms of growth, or like the image of greenery, the imagery of trees growing back. This is going to be so important, okay? The mind is a powerful tool. People, I mean, the powers that be, they know this, but once we kind of like learn how to hack different things, especially again, Pisces with this Pluto in your 12th house, or the 12th house energy, you know, it lingering right behind the sun or the moon, in terms of obsession, in terms of pride, in terms of what you can do for yourself, so on and so forth. When it comes down to Pluto in this energy, or some of you have your Pisces, you have a Jupiter Pisces or Jupiter Vestra, or conjunction and or in Pisces. So we have the Seven of Wands here. So continue what you were saying, I'm sorry. So the so we have 27 and we also have 7, so 2 7s here. Divine timing. You may want to push against Pluto, but Pluto doesn't work like that. It has a lot of gravity at the end of the day. Normally when we think of Pluto, we think of this little planet right here. I love how this whole gravitational mechanism is just surrounding Pluto, because it is very architectural. Definitely got that from the Holy Mountain. Oh my gosh, what was that ending line? Oh my gosh, I loved it so much. The grave is our first mother. Damn. Damn. He's right. Be outside. Touch the flowers. The flowers. The greenery. It is the humble servant of the earth, and there are people out there, there are teachers, there are healers who know how to listen to them. We have the 6 of Cups here. So, what do you really love? That's just the question. What, you know, Saturn's about to leave. So Saturn may be actually gifting you as Pluto's coming in as your next teacher. So in terms of Saturn gifting you something, Saturn's asking like, what do you want? If you could wish upon a star and get XYZ, 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 then it would last for a good little decade. What would it be? Some of you who are creative, you have so many different things to put out there and be like, I know what I want to do. I know what I want to say. I know how I want to grow. And for some of you, it's about bringing magic back to the mundane, because the 6 of Cups is very mundane. You know, you go to school, you come back from school, there's a few things that catch your interest, catch your eye, and different things like that. So I believe when it comes down to these planets about to move direct truly in your sign, I think one might be direct now, but forgive me, I haven't looked too much into Neptune or Uranus, but I think one of them is direct for sure. I think it might be Neptune. Neptune's still going to take a while. Hold on, let me check real quick, if you don't mind, because now I'm curious. Astro Seek. Yeah. Everybody's online, so it's just making everything kind of lag. Let's see. Give me the information of today's news, astrology-wise. Give it to me now. If I turn it to the side, will it show me differently? No, it. Potato sauce. Potatoes, potatoes, potatoes. Crab cakes. Lamb chops. I'm sorry, I normally say this stuff when I'm at work, just randomly, like, just shout out food. Yeah, sure. Let's see, let me just type in this information. Let's see. Neptune, Uranus. Okay, so Uranus is still retrograde, but Neptune is direct at the 29th degree. So it may also gift you something as well before it leaves. 8:28 on my phone. Okay. That's the name. That's the birthday. Alright, that's this card. We also have the Star card. So Aquarius energy. So, you know, Pluto is going to be in Aquarius. You could be attracting more Aquarians at this time. Give them some time. Give them some time. Give yourself some time if you have Aquarius placements. You got a long road, a long decade ahead of you. Now, if you have some fire in your placements, you may not want to hear that. But at the same time, slow and steady wins the race. And it's not just about that. You don't want to start things too fast and then all of a sudden you got to end it. Lame. All right. Vestra. The Hearth. So what does Pisces need to know about the Hearth energy here? Towards adventure, towards their reputation, towards what they hold new. Where's Vestra? Did I exit out of this? Okay. Where are you, girl? Minor aspects. No. I don't want to go somewhere. Sensitive degrees. No. Let's see. Just want to know where. Oh, asteroids. There we go. Okay, so there's Juno, there's Siri, there's okay, Vestra is in Capricorn. Okay, so that's in your second house. Wait, no, this is Pisces reading. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the Sagittarius card. That would be in your 11th house. Okay. So, yeah, you've been reevaluating friendships. You've been reevaluating your network. Where do you feel like you are actually like holding a sense of fire, a sense of flame, a sense of purpose, a sense of longing, a sense of just overall beauty within the intelligence of what you have, what you've created, what you hold dear? With it being in Capricorn, there is such an importance on money and how we nurture money. And how do we even really hold it in bags anymore? Has the Western updated to the Mafia films? Has the Mafia films updated to crypto? Good and or bad? Yeah, Five of Pentacles. 15 while I said that. So Five of Pentacles, so you may need to change up your investments, whether it's investing in silver, whether it's investing in gold. It's just something new is on the horizon. It is change. So 32, and then we also have the 5. So if there is this feeling of being desolate in terms of Vestra being in Capricorn, Capricorn energy has been going through a lot. They had Pluto in Western astrology, and now it's gone. It's gone into Aquarius. And so the thing is, the more they latch on to that Pluto energy, with it being in the second house, it may bring this feeling of true desolation, because there's just different things that haven't changed. And even though like everybody knew things didn't change, but people didn't move on it. So now 8 of Cups. You know what this gave me a vision of? If you've seen the movie The Help, where at the very end, when it comes down to when they're just like, you stole this, and like she didn't steal anything, but in terms of like them saying, oh, you have to go now, you have to go. This is kind of what it's giving. It's just like you put all of your love into helping someone, helping helping the home, helping the family, helping the structure, helping the financial situations, helping how you even like push forward into growth, expansion, financial literacy, so on and so forth. Now it's changing, or now you're being forced out of something, whether it's health, whether it's creation, different modalities here. So for some of you, if this is coming through as positive, now you're kind of looking at other people and you're worried. Like even though you're fine, it's like this sense of survivor's guilt almost as well when it comes down to your energy. Like you don't know what to do now that you are forced to level up into this Jupiter energy. Like more is going to be offered to you coming up into the next year. With Jupiter and Cancer, there were some challenges overall. Jupiter retrograde, I feel like, has been more beneficial to people than it kind of like running through Cancer energy, because there's just so much emotional X, Y, or Z that ended up popping up. Let me pull an affirmation for this Vestra energy when it comes down to the 5 of Pentacles, when it comes down to the 8 of Cups. Let's bring some relief here. 1828, when I mentioned that and when I looked up. So it says, I don't chase, I attract. Everything I touch turns to gold. You're being pushed out for some of you so you can go towards things that you know will turn into gold. You're investing in gold coming up. Whether you're actually buying gold or, you know, there's something in you now where you're just like, if Saturn's going to gift you with something, if Neptune's going to gift you with something, might as well be something that you absolutely love. You don't have to go and chase anything. You have all the tools in front of you. You have all of what you need in front of you. So this 5 of Pentacles, I don't chase, I attract energy. This is pointing towards a sensual healing almost, because like, how do you really feel inside about certain things? How do you really feel as though you're being valued with this I don't chase, I attract? Because the 5 of Pentacles says that there has been some disturbance. So whether it's changing jobs, whether it's family, whether it's just the onset, offset of finances. You knew certain things had to come. You knew certain things had to leave. And so now as you're leaving, remember, like, certain things you touch now are just going to turn to gold. Everything that you touch now just goes into like this astral state of being when it comes down to the hearth energy. Okay. All right. Next with Jupiter. There's something about alignment here. So Jupiter as well wants to gift you before it leaves. So as we go into Year of the Horse, in Vedic astrology, that would be Jupiter going into Cancer. So fear not about some of this boastfulness that will come out from other people, because you're still going to have people you can emotionally relate to, truly start to understand, and different things like that. Alignment. Your chakras are fine. It's your attitude. Jupiter. Abundance. So what about your alignment when it comes down to Jupiter? Oh, shmoney. Shmonies. Has your palms been itchy lately? So expect the unexpected when it comes down to receiving money, receiving more abundance when it comes down to money. Money wants to find you. Money chases you. You are a money magnet. Money has been flowing all around you, but money now wants to come towards you again. There's going to be an influx from different incomes or different projects or creative adventures or creative careers that you've had in the past. Money starts to flow in again from that direction. There's something that you put out into the universe, something that you developed into the 3D world, or maybe just even online, where now there is going to be a huge return. So invest wisely. Make sure you are, and you know, you're going to do this anyway, so this is just a confirmation. But, you know, making sure that you're not robbing Peter to pay Paul. A lot of your emotional debt, a lot of your debt, a lot of your physical debt has been taken care of. Because Jupiter doesn't really know what it wants. It's just like, oh, but I'm literally just surrounded by like all of this food, all of this drink, all of these good feelings, this vibe. 2255 when I said that. We have Gemini energy here. So in Vedic astrology, it would be Jupiter in Gemini. So making sure that you're not getting lost in the questions of certain things. Making sure you're not getting too lost in the duality of you, yourself, redundant, you or other people. But when it comes down to Jupiter and Gemini energy, some of you could have your Jupiter in Gemini, but I'm mainly just picking up on the Vedic placement of making sure you don't fall into the whys too terribly much. If you do feel like you're falling into this feeling of duality, there's more abundance in the duality than there is money. You need to fall back into alignment. What are certain things you know you need to be doing to have you feel less anxious about holding money, letting money flow through you, around you, so on and so forth? We have karmic partner, and then we have BDE. Be careful of a Gemini who is a karmic partner. They're coming up as not so good. They do have an abundance, but I don't think it's the right type of abundance for you, Pisces. But you would know this. This isn't necessarily something that, you know, I'm saying here, there, or X, Y, or Z. If you do have Gemini placements, there is a karmic partner that's still around you, still being very boastful, still being kind of mean. There are new lovers that are on the table for you, but you do need to bring a sense of self-care to the table. You need to bring your divine feminine energy out a little bit more for the ladies. especially if you have Gemini placements or you've been dealing with a Gemini, if you were married in the past, so on and so forth, just to help you, clarify certain things. So your divine feminine energy needs this self-care, excuse me, so it can also bring in these lovers. So there's a little bit of secrecy here since my voice wanted to like catch itself for a second, but this is just an overall thing you need to know. With the karmic partner coming back, they may try to attack your throat chakra by making you feel small, making you feel shy, making you feel like you need to be tough, but it's just their arrogance wanting you to self-sabotage at the end of the day. It says protect, be stingy with your energy at the bottom of the deck. And yeah, there's twin flame. So a karmic partner twin flame from your past wants you to trip up due to their false sense of confidence. We also have Capricorn here. Okay. So they are nesting sabotage. I know you don't like the answer, but it is time for you to lock in so you don't fall into being any type of control freak, because then it's kind of like, then they're going to put all that energy and pent up whatever onto you. But again, I feel like you would have already been with this person, in the 3D sense with this karmic partner here. But yeah, it's time to move on. I don't even think you think this person is fine anymore. I think you just think this person is toxic. They got this toxic math equation going on called gaslighting, and you're ready to take yourself out of the class. You're ready to take yourself out of the Roach Motel when it comes down to their attitude, how they've been treating you, how they have fallen out of alignment with you. So if you have had the urge, the feelings, or so on and so forth to just like smudge your surroundings, to put incense on, to put on different healing frequencies, again, for whatever reason, you're doing the right thing. In the past, somebody may have talked you out of it or made you feel bad for certain things, but now it's just like you're just getting more confirmations that you were doing the right thing at the end of the day. So Jupiter, in a sense, is kind of like walking around blind, in a sense, for your energy to just give back to you. But one of the lessons for it to keep giving to you is that you do need a beautiful level of self-care. I don't necessarily know if you're involved with somebody right now, but if you are involved with somebody right now, they love your divine feminine qualities. Okay? Glowing, bright, so on. It could be you towards somebody else, but I'm not really sure. But again, we do have the Lovers card energy here. Lovers in every lifetime. Ain't no back and forth about it. There's one situation that you are a part of, and if there's some suitors around you, I don't know, I feel like some of them are like ready to jump into this karmic partner cycle, and it's like, no thanks. No thanks. If you're dating, make sure that you are just assessing who is right for you at the end of the day. This is bright, this is beautiful, this is warm, this is coming together, this is learning, even in your downtime, so on and so forth. Not every relationship is perfect, but aside from the situation that you were once in, again, you're falling back into alignment. You are falling back into the alignment with money, your divine feminine qualities, with this Lover's energy, and you're also falling in love more and more with your self-care. It's a beautiful energy when it comes down to this Jupiter card here. But if you have your Sagittarius in Jupiter, there is going to be some tensions that come up, because you have potentially stagnated a little bit too much with what you should have been doing. But again, that's only if you have your Jupiter in Sagittarius. You might have more energy. You might think in one area there's going to be a certain level of conflict, but it's actually something towards the opposite. I'm looking at this card right here. So like if we cut it in half, this side is discombobulated, this side is discombobulated. They all have their own types of stairwells. They all have their own different ways of going about certain things. But again, if you have your Jupiter in Sagittarius, the tensions that you think might show up may actually blindside you here or there, because you have Uranus going into that Gemini energy. So you're not going to necessarily know what to predict when it comes down to this tension. Now, this isn't so much of a challenge, but it is something to highlight for you at this time. You do need to be mindful. You do need to be careful. If you have children who have this placement, so on and so forth, whether you're in the chat or not, at least right now, so on and so forth, is my wrist. When it comes down to the Sagittarius, Jupiter energy, I don't know, they may come to you and complain where it's just like, all of these people wish bad luck on me. All of these people did X, Y, or Z. Yes, there are two sides of the story, but there is duality here when it comes down to the Gemini energy. So there could be part of the story that they're not telling. There's something about them where they could have been the karmic partner. Just putting it out there. Again, you do not have to resonate. But let's see, what kind of message can I pull for Pisces placements when it comes down to money? Because as soon as like this beautiful alignment in terms of money starts to come in, it's just like all this drama about love and karmic partnerships, and it's just like, ugh. So what is an affirmation to keep you grounded through this time? What's an affirmation to keep you grounded at this time? I have 2. I experience once in a lifetime opportunities multiple times a day. And then the second one, my wealth compounds exponentially daily. So every day you feel like you're just going through these new experiences, good, bad, and or indifferent. I don't work for money, money works for me. So if you've already put passive income out there to whatever degree, but it's coming through as creative, this influx is just going to help empower you more towards doing more of what you love, and that's beautiful. Your wealth is going to keep growing. The affirmation of I experience once in a lifetime opportunities multiple times a day, I feel like you're opening your mind more and more up to this, especially with Pluto here in your 12th house. Okay. And that's good to think about, because Pluto in the 12th house, it does have you, you know, going back into yourself a little bit here and there. But the thing is, it's so powerful for you to understand this 12th house energy at this time with Pluto, because this would be the once in a lifetime opportunity. So it's kind of like you can bring this huge feeling of transformation, or you can truly learn so much about yourself. You can go within the shadows of your subconscious at this time, and again have like this monkish attitude. But Pluto is going to force you to have different versions of introspection so you can have these once in a lifetime opportunities. So remember, when it comes down to opportunities, they last longer if you treat them well, and or if you have space for them. If you don't have space for certain opportunities, you need to be honest about that. If other people are losing themselves in the path of where they're going, how they should go, if they're even on the right path, I don't think you should take it to heart, but they may make you feel like you should take it to heart. So certain things are going to hit pretty deep here or there in terms of certain people that you have valued, that you have loved. But be mindful. Be mindful that this is a trick, because after a while, what you're going to realize is that you're just looking for validation, but looking for that validation can also waste time. And it can then have you not treat opportunities the way you know you should be treating them. Which, again, you're a Pisces. A lot of you kind of act like Libras, but a lot more watery. You're going to be kind. You're going to be honest. You're going to show up as you are. A lot of you are going to show up stylish. It is what it is. No tea, no shame, no hate from me. Absolutely not. But again, this is just something to think about when moving forward. When you have these opportunities, if I'm able to like say anything to you, just remember this with this mantra, with this affirmation: everything I touch turns to gold. Everything I touch turns to gold, which means you must be nurturing it to some extent, and that's what you need to continuously do moving forward. But okay, Pisces, thank you so much for stopping by, trusting me with your cards. Whenever you're watching this, I hope you have a great night. For the people later on, great morning, noon, evening, so on and so forth, and all that jazz. I'll talk to you guys next time. A lot of my information is somewhere around here. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, and talk to you later.